Welcome back to the KenkoVibe podcast, your daily dose of health insights. I'm Ethan Reed.
And I'm Grace Morgan.
Today we're doing a deep dive into ashwagandha.
Yeah,
It's gotten really popular, especially for men's health.
it has.
But we're going to go beyond the hype, and see what the science actually says. Are those miracle claims actually true?
Right, because ashwagandha has a long history in Ayurvedic medicine.
Yeah.
But traditional uses don't always line up with what modern research is finding.
Yeah, so to kick things off, can we talk about what ashwagandha is actually doing in the body? I keep hearing it called an adaptogen, but what does that really mean?
Well, think of an adaptogen as your body's stress buffer.
Okay.
It basically helps you cope with physical, chemical, or biological stressors by bringing your systems back into balance. So rather than like a quick fix, it's more like training your body to be more resilient.
That makes sense. So it's not like taking a painkiller that just masks the symptom.
Exactly.
Okay.
It's more about supporting your body's natural ability to adapt and deal with stress. Right.
Which can manifest in so many ways, from fatigue to low mood to hormonal imbalances.
Okay. That's fascinating. Now, I know a lot of guys are interested in ashwagandha because of the rumors about it boosting testosterone and helping with things like erectile dysfunction.
Yeah.
What's the real story there?
Well, there's definitely been research on ashwagandha and testosterone levels, but the results are mixed.
Okay.
And we need more high-quality studies to draw any firm conclusions. Some studies suggest that ashwagandha might increase testosterone in men with low levels, potentially, by influencing the hypothalamic pituitary gonadal axis, which is like the control center for hormone production.
So there's a possibility there.
Yes.
But we need more data before we can make any definitive claims.
Exactly. And when it comes to erectile dysfunction, the evidence is even less conclusive. While some small studies have shown potential benefits, others haven't.
Okay.
In fact, one study on psychogenic ED, that's E primarily caused by psychological factors, found that ashwagandha was no more effective than a placebo. Wow, that's surprising. So maybe not the miracle cure some people are hoping for.
Probably not. And what's even more intriguing is a study from 2002 where researchers found that ashwagandha actually increased erectile dysfunction in rats.
Hold on, increased. That seems to contradict everything we've been hearing.
Right. It highlights the fact that there's still a lot we don't understand about ashwagandha's effects and how it interacts with different systems in the body.
Right.
Animal studies don't always translate to humans.
Right.
And there might be other factors at play that we haven't uncovered yet.
So for now, it seems like we need to approach the ED claims with a healthy dose of skepticism.
Absolutely. But even if ashwagandha isn't a magic bullet for ED, there's emerging research suggesting it might have other benefits for men's reproductive health.
Okay, let's dive into that. What are we talking about here?
For instance, a 2018 study found that ashwagandha supplementation may improve semen quality.
Now, that's interesting. What exactly does improved semen quality mean? Break that down for us.
Well, it encompasses several factors, including sperm count, sperm motility, and sperm morphology. Basically, the shape and structure of the sperm.
So it's about having more swimmers and making sure they're strong swimmers.
Exactly.
Okay.
And that 2018 study found that ashwagandha supplementation was linked to significant improvements in all those areas.
That's impressive. So while the jury's still out on ED, it sounds like ashwagandha could be a potential ally for men looking to boost their fertility.
Potentially. And that's why further research is so important. We need to tease out the specific mechanisms and see how these findings translate to real-world outcomes.
Now let's talk about the safety of ashwagandha. It's a natural herb. But are there any side effects people should be aware of?
Ashwagandha is generally considered safe for most people when taken at recommended doses.
Okay.
But like any substance, it can have side effects.
Sure.
Some common ones include drowsiness, upset stomach, and diarrhea.
Okay, nothing too alarming, but worth noting.
Right, and in rare cases, people have reported more serious side effects, so it's crucial to start slowly and listen to your body. And of course, as always, consult with your doctor before adding any new supplement to your routine.
Especially if you have pre-existing conditions or are taking medications, right?
Exactly. For example, people with diabetes need to be particularly cautious because ashwagandha can lower blood sugar levels.
So it could interact with their medication.
Yes, and that could lead to dangerously low blood sugar. Similarly, anyone with thyroid issues should talk to their doctor because ashwagandha can affect thyroid hormone levels.
It sounds like open communication with your doctor is key.
It always is, especially when it comes to your health. And there are a few groups who should avoid ashwagandha altogether.
Like who?
Pregnant and breastfeeding women, for starters. There's not enough research to confirm its safety during those stages.
Makes sense. Anyone else?
People taking sedatives should steer clear, as well as ashwagandha can amplify their effects, leading to excessive drowsiness. And men with hormone-sensitive prostate cancer should avoid it because of its potential impact on testosterone levels.
Okay, so it's all about being informed and making smart choices.
Right. And when it comes to choosing an ashwagandha supplement, quality matters.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So how can people ensure they're getting a good product? What should they look for?
First, do your research and choose reputable brands that prioritize transparency and quality control. Look for products that have been third-party verified by organizations like NSF International or USP.
Oh, wait.
These seals of approval indicate that the product has been independently tested for quality and purity.
So those certifications provide an extra layer of assurance.
Exactly. And when you're looking at the label, check the amount of withanolides. Those are the active compounds believed to be responsible for many of ashwagandha's beneficial effects.
So not all ashwagandha products are created equal. It's all about being an informed consumer.
Pres-
Welcome back to the KenkoVibe podcast. Before the break, we were talking about how to choose a quality ashwagandha supplement and the importance of those third-party certifications.
Right, because those certifications can give you more confidence that you're getting what you pay for, both in terms of purity and potency.
Now, ashwagandha comes in different forms, like powders, capsules, and even gummies. Is one form better than another?
That's a great question, and it really depends on personal preference and how you plan to use it. Some people find capsules or tablets to be the most convenient,
Okay.
while others enjoy the ritual of preparing a traditional ashwagandha tonic with the powder.
Okay, so walk us through those options a bit more. What are the pros and cons of each?
Well, with the powder, you have more flexibility in terms of dosage. You
Yeah.
can start small and gradually increase as needed. You can also mix it into different things like smoothies, warm milk, or even yogurt.
Okay.
The downside is that it does have a slightly bitter taste,
Yeah.
so that's something to consider.
So if you're not a fan of bitter flavors, capsules might be a better bet.
Exactly. Capsules are tasteless and odorless, and they're pre-portioned for easy dosing. Plus, they travel well.
Right.
The only real downside is that you have less control over the dosage since you're usually taking a preset amount.
Got it. What about those gummies I've been seeing? Are they a good option?
Gummies can be a fun and tasty way to take ashwagandha, especially if you struggle with swallowing pills. But it's important to check the sugar content, as some gummies can be quite high in sugar. Also, because they're chewable, the ashwagandha might be absorbed differently than if you were to swallow a capsule.
So it's all about weighing the pros and cons and finding what fits your lifestyle.
Exactly. And speaking of lifestyle, it's important to remember that ashwagandha is an adaptogen, meaning it works best when combined with other healthy habits.
Right. It's not a magic bullet. It's about supporting your body's natural ability to cope with stress.
Exactly. So things like getting enough sleep, managing your stress levels, eating a nutritious diet, and exercising regularly are all important pieces of the puzzle.
It's about taking a holistic approach to your health.
Precisely. And when you combine those lifestyle changes with ashwagandha, you might start to see some real benefits.
Now, I know we've talked a lot about the potential benefits of ashwagandha, but are there any risks or drawbacks people should be aware of?
We touched on some of the side effects earlier, but it's worth repeating that even though ashwagandha is generally considered safe, it can interact with certain medications. So it's crucial to talk to your doctor before taking it, especially if you have any pre-existing conditions or are on any medications.
Right. Always better to err on the side of caution.
Absolutely. And it's also worth mentioning that the long-term effects of ashwagandha are still being studied. We know it's been used safely for centuries in Ayurvedic medicine, but more research is needed to fully understand its long-term impact, especially at higher doses.
So it's about being informed and making choices that are right for you.
Exactly, and that's why we encourage listeners to do their own research, consult with their healthcare provider, and approach ashwagandha with a healthy dose of curiosity and critical thinking.
Great advice. Now, I'm curious from your perspective as an expert on natural remedies, what are some of the most promising areas of research when it comes to ashwagandha? What are scientists most excited about exploring?
That's a great question. One area that's generating a lot of buzz is ashwagandha's potential role in brain health. There's growing evidence suggesting it might have neuroprotective properties and could even be beneficial in conditions like Alzheimer's and Parkinson's disease.
Oh, wow, that's fascinating. So it's not just about stress reduction and testosterone anymore.
Exactly. We're starting to see that ashwagandha might have a much wider range of applications than we initially thought.
Right.
For example, some researchers are also investigating its potential as an anti-inflammatory and immunomodulatory agent.
Meaning it could help boost the immune system?
Potentially. It's still early days, but there are some intriguing findings suggesting that ashwagandha might help regulate the immune response and even have anti-cancer properties in some cases. But again, we need more research to confirm these findings and understand the mechanisms involved.
It sounds like there's a lot we still don't know about this powerful herb.
There is, and that's what makes it so exciting. With each new study, we're uncovering more about ashwagandha's potential to improve health and well-being.
Well, this has been an incredibly informative deep dive into the world of ashwagandha. We've covered a lot of ground from its traditional uses to the latest scientific research, and while there's still much to learn about this fascinating herb, one thing's for sure, it definitely has the potential to positively impact health and well-being. So for our listeners who are ready to try incorporating ashwagandha into their routines, let's talk about some practical tips in the next part of the episode. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the KenkoVibe podcast. We've been on quite a journey exploring ashwagandha.
We have from ancient traditions to cutting-edge research.
Yeah.
It's amazing how much there is to uncover about this herb.
And for our listeners who are ready to give ashwagandha a try, let's get practical. What are some simple ways to incorporate it into your daily routine?
Well, as we discussed earlier, ashwagandha comes in various forms. If you're opting for the powder, you can easily add it to smoothies or warm milk.
Yeah.
Some people even mix it into yogurt or oatmeal.
I've heard of people making a traditional ashwagandha tonic with milk and honey. Is that something you recommend?
It's a classic preparation for a reason. The warmth of the milk can be soothing, and the honey helps balance out that slightly bitter taste of the ashwagandha.
Are there any specific types of milk that work best? What about plant-based alternatives?
Cow's milk is the traditional choice, but you can certainly use almond milk, soy milk, or any other milk alternative you prefer. Just be sure to warm it gently so you don't destroy any of the beneficial compounds in the ashwagandha.
That's good to know. Now, what about dosage? Is there a general rule of thumb for how much ashwagandha to take?
Dosage can vary depending on the individual and the form of ashwagandha you're using. It's always best to start with a low dose and gradually increase it as needed. If you're using a supplement, follow the instructions on the label carefully.
And of course, we can't emphasize enough the importance of talking to your doctor before starting any new supplement regimen, right?
Absolutely. They can help you determine the appropriate dosage based on your individual needs and health history.
Now, is there a specific time of day that's best for taking ashwagandha? Like, should you take it in the morning or at night?
It really depends on your goals and how your body responds. Some people find that taking ashwagandha in the morning gives them a boost of energy and focus, while others prefer taking it in the evening to promote relaxation and sleep.
So it's all about experimenting and finding what works best for you.
Exactly. You might even find that your needs change over time. Listen to your body and adjust your routine accordingly.
That's great advice.
Yeah.
Now, before we wrap up, are there any other pearls of wisdom you'd like to share with our listeners about incorporating ashwagandha into their lives?
I'd say be patient and consistent. As an adaptogen, ashwagandha works gradually to help your body build resilience. You might not notice dramatic changes overnight, but over time, you may find yourself feeling calmer, more energized, and better equipped to handle the challenges that life throws your way.
So it's not a quick fix. It's more about supporting your overall well-being.
Precisely. And remember, ashwagandha is just one piece of the puzzle. It works best when combined with other healthy habits like a balanced diet, regular exercise, stress management techniques, and quality sleep.
Well said. And as always, we encourage our listeners to do their own research consult with their healthcare provider and make informed decisions about their health and well-being. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into ashwagandha. Be sure to subscribe to the KenkoVibe podcast for more evidence-based health insights delivered straight to your ears. And don't forget to like, comment, and share this episode with anyone who might benefit from learning more about this fascinating herb. We're Ethan Reed.
And Grace Morgan.
And this is the KenkoVibe podcast, your daily dose of health and wellness wisdom.